So I'm just gonna make a quick video about something that's not actually mathematical, but it's relevant to the process of math, which is very relevant now that the pandemic has created so many deaths, tragic deaths, which creates disembodied spirits, wandering souls, hungry souls. So my first encounter with disembodied spirits was in college at MIT. I was very sleep deprived and I happened to be able to communicate with ghosts. At the time I didn't know though. And when you're very sleep deprived or that's one of the states where the veil between this world and the ghost world is very thin. And at MIT, which is in Cambridge, which is in Massachusetts, there are a lot of ghosts from previous tragic deaths due to similar circumstances as the current pandemic. I was feeling a lot of the Civil War relics and all the deaths on both sides, from American Indians as well as the Westerners. So only later did I realize that after I went home and recovered from that semester of basically not getting any sleep, something pointed me one day to a website which listed a bunch of suicides at MIT, basically the whole history of all suicides at MIT. And I could feel the spirit there pointing me to this website, and I scrolled down, and maybe just a year or so before I was at MIT, a Korean girl had committed suicide, and I knew that was the spirit that was communicating with me. And I could sense that they were used to people being completely afraid and trying to run away or else otherwise destroy them when they found out. So I decided to take a different approach, and I asked, "How may I help you?" As scientists, a lot of times we are sleep deprived, and that makes us vulnerable to entry or possession by ghosts or spirits. However, now that we're in a pandemic and there are a lot of people dying and becoming wandering souls because they died unnatural deaths. So maybe in America we're not as familiar with this, but in places with a lot of history, like I've been to China and I've studied from teachers from India. They know a lot about ghosts and how to interact with them. So basically they're just the same as people. It's not like they're, some like unicorn, and it's not like they're some gods. They're just people who died an unnatural death, and they weren't able to complete the process of journeying to their next destination, to their next life, and somehow they're hanging around on this earth, but they no longer have a body. And a lot of them are attached to either revenge or to having a body, to being able to experience certain sense experiences, and that's why they're not ready yet to leave. So, and a lot of them are actually lost, confused, scared, but there's also a lot of them that are very, very attached to wanting a body so that they can experience whatever they're attached to, that they can't experience without a body. And the main thing to remember is that whatever your nature is the nature of the spirits, whether they be ghosts or gods, that you will tend to attract. So that's why it helps to do spiritual practices. It's kind of like washing your hands to prevent from getting infected by viruses. You also do spiritual practices to wash your spirit to avoid getting possessed by the wrong spirit, ghosts. So I'm